come in here, we will have the warm-ups placed on this sheet of paper right here in this small little warm-up room. We do have these papers kind of displayed throughout different rooms within the gym. What we'll do, basically work from top to the bottom of the list, starting with arm circles. With arm circles, it's just going to be small circles forward. We're going to do about 10 to 15, and then we're going to open up nice and big. And then from there, put it in reverse, small circles backwards, and then open it up nice and big backwards. So feel a big stretch in our chest, really get our arms and our shoulders nice and loose. From there, we're going to move on to torso rotations. We're going to place our hands right here beside our hips. We're just going to rotate, get a nice stretch in our hips. Should feel our lats and our back, get a nice stretch too. We're going to do about 10 of those, just each side, and then move straight into the band dislocations. With the band dislocations, I want you to have some constant tension, but when we go up and over to the back, I want it to be a nice, smooth up and over. I don't want you guys to build too much tension in the band. That way when you try to get it up and over, you have to maneuver your way through the band. So you want to build enough tension to where you can feel it, the resistance, but you want to go up and over while keeping your arms nice and straight, and then come back and forth. We'll do 10 of those over and back, straight into walkout with push-up. Now, with walkout with push-up, we're going to work our way down our legs and slowly start to walk out. From there, we're going to go down to the ground and be in a push-up position. I don't want you guys to feel like you have to do a strict push-up. If you need to kind of rock your legs, get yourself up, and then from there, we're going to walk our hands back. We should feel that big stretch in the hamstring. That's what we're looking for. So work our hands down, walk ourselves out into a push-up, work ourselves back into a big stretch in our hamstrings, okay? Next we have Spider-Man lunges. We have some boxes placed over here. We're going to go ahead and grab a box. We're going to come down and get in this position. We're going to put our hands on the box and place our foot right outside of that box. With this off leg, we're going to bring it back and feel a big stretch in our hip. Now from here in this position, you want to make sure you have your hands in line with your shoulder, and we're just going to slowly rock forward, driving our knees outwards, keeping a big chest, and we should feel a big stretch in our hip. So we'll hold it there for about 2 to 3 seconds, rock straight back, and then rock right back into it to get another nice deep stretch. We're going to do 5 of those each leg. From there, we're going to come into alternating T-planks. We're going to do 5 of these each side as well. On the T-planks, I want you to get down on your knees and your hands. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to make sure, just like on the walkout with push-up, we want to make sure our hand is in line with our shoulder. From there, we're going to drag this hand along the turf, reaching through. I should feel a big stretch in my shoulder and in my back. And I'm going to open up nice and big, feel a big stretch in my chest. Then we're going to reset and then do the other hand. So reach in with your hand, drag it along that turf, get nice and low, reach back through, open ourselves up, just like that. Then we're going to go into bird dogs. So we can stay down in that same position, hands and knees. Same thing, I want to keep our hand in line with our shoulder. And then with this, whatever hand we reach out with, the opposite leg will go backwards. I'm going to give you guys a side view, that way you can see that my back's staying nice and flat. I kind of want to keep my body nice and flat like a table. So I'm going to reach out with this left hand and extend that right leg backwards, staying nice and flat, keeping my core nice and tight. And then from there, we're going to crunch in, bring our elbow to our knee, keeping my core nice and tight, and then we're going to reset and then alternate. So now we'll go Right hand out, left leg back, staying nice and flat like a table. Bringing everything in, elbow to knee, keeping our core nice and tight. Directly from there, we'll go into clam glute bridge. So on this, we're going to sit down on our butt. We're going to bring our feet together, bringing the soles of our shoe meshed right into each other. Now we're going to sit back. We're going to drive the palms of our hands into the ground, keeping those ankles and that foot dug into the ground. And from there, we're going to lift our hips up, squeezing our glutes nice and tight at the top. Slow, controlled on the way down, while keeping my palms dug into the ground to kind of help stabilize me and give me a good base to push from. Go right back up into it, slow and controlled, really emphasizing the squeezing the glutes at the top. And we will do 15 to 20 of those. Straight into laying knees over. So on these, we can stay basically in the same position, but now we're going to bring our legs to about a 90-degree angle. Keep them fairly close together. Same thing with our palms, keep them dug into the ground. And from here, we're just going to rotate, let our legs fall over, get a big stretch in those hips. Trying to keep our chest upright, not letting our whole body collapse and fall over with us. We want to keep our shoulders and our chest nice and tall and facing the ceiling while letting those legs rotate over back and forth. Next, we have squat to stand. On squat to stand, what I want you to do is stand up nice and tall and position your feet in a good squat position. So some people squat with their feet out a little bit wider. If you need to widen out your base, that's totally fine. But from there, we're going to walk our hands down our leg. We're going to grab our ankles and get into a nice squat position, really activating our hip flexors. We're going to sit nice and low, and then from there we're going to stand up while keeping our hands on our ankles. We should feel a big stretch in the hamstrings, and then we'll go right back down into the squat. Big deep squat, and then nice stretch in those hamstrings, okay? We will do 10 reps of those. Jumping jacks is on here. If you haven't jumped in a while, or if you haven't jogged, you're not used to that high impact movement, I wouldn't worry about the jumping jacks right at this moment. Then we can go straight into band pull aparts. On band pull aparts, I want your palms facing downwards. We want to build some tension in the band, but we don't want to have too much tension to where we can't pull the band backwards and get a nice contraction in our back. So you want just enough tension to be able to keep your arms nice and straight. We're going to pull everything back, bring that band to our chest, and I'm squeezing and pinching my shoulder blades together. Nice and controlled, keeping my hands nice and straight out in front of me. Squeeze that back, control it on the way up, retracting our shoulder blades together. Getting a good squeeze in our back at the extension. And lastly, we will finish up with dead bugs. So on dead bugs, we're gonna lay down. Now on these, when people lay down and kick their legs up, we're naturally gonna have a slight arch in our lower back. So what we wanna do is we wanna get rid of that arch and activate our core. So kind of the way I like to tell people to do it is, exhale out all of your air and bring your shoulder blades upwards. You should really feel your core activate. From there, we're going to have our shoulder blades up, our core activated, and our back flat on the ground. Now we're going to extend out one leg at a time. Bring one leg out, bring it right back in. A slight pause. Now I'm bringing my right leg out, bringing it right back in. Some people tend to turn it into a bicycle, so they'll bring one leg out and then try to bring that other leg out while the other one's coming back. We want to slow everything down and just focus on one leg at a time. So I'll bring my left leg out, right back in, and then focus on my right leg, and then bring it right back in. Keeping our core nice and tight and controlling our breathing throughout the movement.